Good afternoon, students. Today our topic is deep flexor compartment. So we have already discussed the superficial muscles of flexor compartment. Now to show the deep compartment, we have to reflect the superficial muscles. So we have cut here the superficial muscles. Now I am going to reflect these muscles. After reflecting the muscles, this region here is deep flexor compartment. We have already reflect the superficial muscles. Now you can easily see the deep flexor compartment. Now this deep flexor compartment, it contains three muscles. What are the muscles? Muscles are flexor digitorum profundus. This is flexor digitorum profundus. This muscle here is, this bulky muscle here is flexor digitorum profundus, and it contains flexor pollicis longus muscle. This is flexor pollicis longus muscle, and between these muscles in the lower part of forearm you can see this quadrangular muscles, these fibers here. These fibers are of pronator quadratus muscle. This is quadrangular muscle and it lies on the lower part of forearm. So in the deep flexor compartment we will see three muscles: flexor digitorum profundus, flexor pollicis longus, and pronator quadratus muscle. Besides these, we will also discuss vessels and nerves of deep flexor compartment. So first of all we will discuss the muscles, the origin and insertions of deep flexor muscles. Now coming to the first muscle, which is flexor digitorum profundus. So it lies just deep to the flexor digitorum superficialis muscle. This was the flexor digitorum superficialis muscle. Again this was the bulky muscle. It also has 4 tendons. When we reflect this muscle upwards and downwards, just deep to this muscle, there lie this muscle. This is flexor digitorum profundus. So this is bulky muscle. It also has 4 tendons, same as this flexor digitorum superficialis. It is having 4 tendons. Now the origin and insertion of this muscle. So it takes origin from the upper 3/4 of anterior surface, medial surface and posterior border of ulna. Also medial surface of olecranon process and coronoid process of ulna. Also from the adjoining part of anterior surface of interosseous membrane. Interosseous membrane is the modification of deep fascia which lies between the radius and ulna. So adjoining part of anterior surface of interosseous membrane. So origin of flexor digitorum profundus. Now this muscle will divide into 4 tendons. These tendons enters the palm deep to the flexor retinaculum and ultimately insert into the base of distal phalanx of 2nd to 5th digits. Base of distal phalanx of 2nd to 5th digit. So each tendon is running deep to the tendon of flexor digitorum superficialis. So the tendon of flexor digitorum profundus is running deep to the tendon of flexor digitorum superficialis. So these were the origin and insertion of flexor digitorum profundus muscle. Now coming to the next muscle. This muscle is flexor pollicis longus. It is lateral to the flexor digitorum profundus muscle. It is towards the thumb side. So pollicis is term related to the thumb. That's why the name of this muscle is flexor pollicis longus. Now the origin of this muscle, it takes origin from the upper 3/4 of anterior surface of radius. So it takes origin from the upper 3/4 of anterior surface of radius bone, and also the adjoining part of interosseous membrane. Adjoining part of anterior surface of interosseous membrane, and it runs downwards. Again it enters the palm deep to the flexor retinaculum and finally insert into the palmar surface of distal phalanx of thumb. Palmar surface of distal phalanx of thumb. So this was the insertion of flexor pollicis longus muscle. Now coming to the third muscle of this region, which is pronator quadratus. As name indicate, pronator means the action of muscle is pronation. So this is quadrangular shaped muscle. It lies in the lower 1/4 part of forearm. It takes origin from the ulna. It takes origin from the anterior surface of lower 1/4 of ulna. There is a ridge on the anterior surface of lower part of ulna. It is called oblique ridge. So it takes origin from the oblique ridge on the anterior surface of lower 1/4 of ulna, and the fibers are running toward the lateral side, toward the radius, and these fibers, the superficial fiber of this muscle will insert into the anterior surface and anterior border of lower 1/4 of radius, and the D fibers will insert into the triangular area just above the ulnar notch of radius. So this was the insertion of pronator quadratus. So we have discussed the origin and insertion of three muscles of deep flexor compartment. Now I will revise the origin and insertion. First muscle which was just deep to the flexor digitorum superficialis muscle. When you reflect this muscle, you will find this again the bulky muscle having 4 tendons. This is flexor digitorum profundus muscle. It takes origin from the upper 3/4 of anterior surface, medial surface and posterior border of ulna, also from medial surface of olecranon process and coronoid process of ulna, adjoining part of interosseous membrane, anterior surface, and running downwards divided into 4 tendons. The tendons enter the palm deep to the flexor retinaculum and finally insert into the base of distal phalanx of 2nd to 5th digit. Second muscle was flexor pollicis longus, lateral to this bulky muscle digitorum profundus. So origin of this muscle was from anterior surface of upper 3/4 of radius and the adjoining part of interosseous membrane, and running downwards, entering the palm deep to the flexor retinaculum, and will insert into the palmar surface of distal phalanx of thumb. Third muscle, pronator quadratus, quadrangular shaped muscle, origin from oblique ridge of anterior surface of lower 1/4 of ulna, and superficial fiber will insert on the anterior surface, anterior border of lower 1/4 of radius, D fiber, triangular area above the ulnar notch of radius. So these were the origin and insertion of deep flexor muscles. So now talking about the nerve supply of deep muscles of flexor compartment. The first muscle was flexor digitorum profundus. It is also known as hybrid or composite muscle because it is supplied by 2 nerves. So the medial half of this muscle is supplied by ulnar nerve. This is ulnar nerve. Medial half of this muscle is supplied by ulnar nerve, and the lateral half of this muscle, as we already discussed, is supplied by median nerve. Medial half by ulnar nerve, lateral half by median nerve. So this is hybrid muscle. It is supplied by two nerves. Coming to the second muscle, which was flexor pollicis longus, it is supplied by anterior interosseous branch of median nerve. Anterior interosseous branch of median nerve. And the third muscle was pronator quadratus. It is also supplied by anterior interosseous branch of median nerve. This is all about the nerve supply. Now coming to the nerves and vessels of this region. So the main and important nerve of this region is median nerve. So as you already know, in the cubital fossa, the most medial content of cubital fossa was median nerve. After cubital fossa, the nerve enters the forearm between the two heads of pronator teres. As you can see, these are the two heads of pronator teres. This median nerve is entering between these two heads and finally enters into the forearm. Now, the course of forearm, the median nerve passes between these two muscles, which is flexor digitorum superficialis and flexor digitorum profundus. So this nerve runs between these two bulky muscles, which are flexor digitorum superficialis and flexor digitorum profundus. As you can see here, this is median nerve. And finally, it enters the palm by passing deep to the flexor retinaculum. It enters the palm deep to the flexor retinaculum. So this was the course of median nerve. As you already know, median nerve supplies most of the muscles of forearm. So in the deep flexor compartment, it supplies flexor pollicis longus. It supplies the lateral half of flexor digitorum profundus. It supplies pronator quadratus muscles. So these three muscles are supplied by the anterior interosseous branch of median nerve. Anterior interosseous branch of median nerve. And it also supplies the superficial muscles. We have discussed it already. Now coming to the ulnar nerve, the second important nerve of this region. So ulnar nerve, as name indicate, it lies in the relation of ulna. From arm to forearm, it enters behind the medial epicondyle and finally enters into the forearm between the two heads of flexor carpi ulnaris. So in the forearm, it runs deep to the flexor carpi ulnaris muscle. As you can see here, when you reflect this muscle, you will find this nerve along with an important artery, which is ulnar artery. So these two structures run together deep to the flexor carpi ulnaris muscle. So it lies deep to the flexor carpi ulnaris muscle and finally it enters into the palm superficial to the flexor retinaculum. It enters the palm superficial to the flexor retinaculum. So this was the ulnar nerve. So ulnar nerve is also called musician's nerve because it controls the fine movements of fingers. It controls the fine movements of fingers as it supplies most of the muscles of hand. And the median nerve is also known as laborer's nerve because it controls the coarse movements of hand as it supplies most of the long muscles of forearm. So it is also called laborer's nerve and ulnar nerve is also called musician nerve. Now coming to the vessels or mainly arteries. So main arteries of deep flexor compartment are radial and ulnar artery. So radial and ulnar arteries are the terminal branches of brachial artery. As you already know, brachial artery is also content of cubital fossa. It is lateral to the median nerve, and in the cubital fossa it divides into two terminal branches, which is radial and ulnar. Radial is running toward the lateral side and ulnar runs obliquely towards the medial side, and finally it runs deep to the flexor carpi ulnaris muscle along with ulnar nerve. So this is ulnar artery, it is running along with ulnar nerve deep to the flexor carpi ulnaris muscle. So this radial artery is superficial in its lower part and it is just deep to the skin, and it is used to read the pulse of body. As you already know, it is superficial in its lower part. This radial artery in its lower part runs little posteriorly and enters into the hand, whereas the ulnar artery, it enters into the palm passing superficial to the flexor retinaculum. So these were the arteries of flexor compartment. In the lateral side we have radial artery, and in the medial side we have ulnar artery. So this is all about deep flexor compartment. Thank you so much.